A. My metric number is 2021893858. For this assignment, I was given a responsibility to do acknowledgement, introduction, date of evaluation, and objective. First and foremost, we are blessed to be able to complete this report within the time provided. All thanks to Madam Noraini binti Johari for all your guidance and support. Moreover, we would like to show our gratitude to everyone who have been directly or indirectly helping us in finishing this report. Also, a special appreciation and thanks to each member of our group for working so hard to finish this report. To begin with, our property is located at 32300 Pasir Boga, Angkor, Perak. This lot is held under title GRANT, Town of Pasir Boga, Angkor, District of Manjung, Perak. It is a commercial land which is suitable for leisure, tourism, and resort. The subject property provisional land area is 4729.7559 square meter. The Angkor Beach Resort offers a total of 25 rooms for rents. At the northern section of the land, there is a two-story building hotel. At the intermediate rear of the two-story main building hotel, there is one-story function hall building. And at the intermediate southwest of main hotel, an open-sided one-story cafe or restaurant building is located. In addition, there is two-story holidayhood structure located at the mid-southeastern section of the land. The method used to calculate the market value for this report are cost approach and for profit methods. There are three objectives obtained from this report, which is first, to analyze data for valuation purposes. Second, to achieve the market value using cost approach and profit method of evaluation. And the last one is to analyze the evidence transactions that are given to calculate the land value of the resort. The date of the valuation is on 25th May 2021.
And my metric number is 2021855122. In this case study, I will explain about the cost method. First thing first, we have to calculate the building value. This slide right now is the double of the floor area of two-story main hotel. I'm just gonna pick one building to show the calculation because all of the calculation for each building will use the same method, but it's just a bit different at MFA and also depreciation. For this building, which is two-story main hotel, it is the semi-permanent because according to the appendix given by our lecturer, the construction said that this building is constructed of part timber framework and part reinforced. So it is mean that this building is the semi-permanent. We can assume for economic age is 45 years. CCN is consists of 5 items, which is main floor area, ancillary floor area, gross floor area, depreciation, and the last one we will get the building value. Regarding for the table, as you can see, for each area is the square feet, but in this calculation for all of this building, I used to convert from square feet to square meter. So the first calculation we have to do is the main floor area. Starting for the table of two-story main hotel, there are two MFA we can see, which is at ground floor, which is the reception area. The second MFA is the restroom. Then we will plus both of these. After that, we have to multiply with the price per square meter. And how to get the price per square meter for MFA, which is this, is from archives because there is no price per square meter provided in MPGP, so we have to assume. So the total of the reception area in restroom is 698 square meter will be multiplied with the price per square meter, which is 1,930. And after that, we will get the total of MFA is 1,330,5,274. Then we have to calculate the ancillary floor area. Regarding from the table above, there are 3 elements that we have to include in ancillary floor area, which is at the ground floor, there is veranda, covered passageway, and corridor. And at the first floor, also the veranda. And then we get the total is 3,329 square meter, and we have to multiply with the price per square meter for EFA, which is 1,125. And we get the total for EFA is 370,125. To get the EFA, we only have to use the formula, which is MFA plus EFA. So we have to total the MFA and EFA, which is 1,335,274 plus 370,125, then we will get the total of ground floor area, which is 1,705,399. Now we can proceed with the calculation for depreciation, which is the formula is physical age divided by economic age multiplied with 100. And then we have to multiply with the ground floor area, which is the total that we get just now. So it means the calculation will be 10 divided by 45 multiplied with 1000, and then we will get the 20%. So the 20% will be multiplied with the 1,705,399, which is the ground floor area value. And then after we total, we will get the value or the depreciation, which is 341,080 ringgit Malaysia. After we calculate all of the items, we can proceed to get or calculate the building value, which is the formula for building value is ground floor area minus depreciation. So 1,705,399 will be minus with 341,080, and then the total will be 1,364,319. That is the building value for two-story main hotel. The total value for building value is 1,990,269. So that is for building value. And now we will proceed with the description a little bit about the CCN just now. Refer to JUBM and Arcadis Construction Cost Handbook Malaysia 2021. We use this reference to get the price per square meter of the land area. And next, we have some adjustment was made since subject property located at Bangkok and the range cost chosen at Penang. So the adjustment for each type of building will be different. As you can see at the slide right now, the first MFA for permanent building we assume 25%, and MFA for semi-permanent building we assume 85%, and FA for temporary building we assume 75%. So for AFA, for all the building, we assume 50% from the amount of MFA permanent building. The last adjustment in this description is the economic age of each building are different like the following. So for permanent building, it can be assumed between 60 to 65 years, and I decided to assume it with 65 years. So for semi-permanent building, we assume the economic age as 45 years, and the last one for temporary building, we assume 30 years. Now we can proceed with comparison method. In comparison method, we can find the land value, because in the appendix given by our lecture, there is no land value. So using this method, we will find the land value. So I'm just gonna show example or explain one of calculation for comparable 1, because the calculation for comparable 2 and 3 also use the same. So as you can see, the table it has 3 comparable and 1 subject property. And now we're gonna proceed with the first calculation in this comparison, which is the analyzed land value. The formula for analyzed land value is consideration divided with land area. I'm going to take comparable 1 as example for our calculation. The consideration of comparable 1 is 1,780,1,600, and then the land area is 3,175, which is after we total it, we will get the analyzed land value is 561. Now we will proceed with the calculation for time adjust value. The formula for time adjust value is analyzed land value plus analyzed land value multiplied with time adjusted percent. So referring to the table, analyzed land value is 561 with just now, and it will be plus with 561 again, and then it will be multiplied with 10 divided by 100. And then we will get the total for time adjust value for comparable 1 is 617. Now we're gonna proceed with the total adjustment. As you can see at the comparable 1, the location for subject property and the comparable 1 is different. We need to remember regarding for the appendix given by lecture, subject property is the best place among the comparable. So using the principle of valuation in comparison, when the subject property is better than comparable, the adjustment need to be plus. But if the comparable is much better than subject property, and the adjustment will be minus. So now, since subject property located at Bangkok and comparable 1 located at Pasir Ris, it means that subject property is better than comparable 1. So it need to be 5% plus. And then the land area, when the area is smaller, it is the better. So it means, as you can see, the subject property land area is 4,730, while comparable 1 land area is 3,175. It means that comparable 1 has the smaller land area than subject property. It means that comparable 1 is much better than subject property. That is why we assume 10% and we put the minus, because comparable 1 is better. So after that, we have to calculate the total adjustment, which is 5% minus 10%, and then we will get the total adjustment for comparable 1 is negative 5%. The last item that we have to calculate in comparison method is adjusted land value. So formula for adjusted land value is time adjust value minus or plus depend on the total adjustment, and then it will be time adjusted value multiplied with total adjustment. The time adjust value is 670 minus, because the total adjustment is minus, then put again the time adjust value is 670 multiplied with 5%, and we will get the total for adjusted land value is 586. After we calculate for each comparable, comparable 1, comparable 2, comparable 3, we will have to select that comparable that is the less adjustment. The less adjustment is comparable 2. After we complete the comparison method, we can proceed with the land value of subject property. So the formula to calculate the land value is land area of subject property multiplied with adjusted land value of comparable. The land area of subject property is 4,730 square meter, will be multiplied with the 864, and the total of land area will be 4,086,720. So that is the land value of subject property for Panko Beach Resort. In comparison, there are 3 adjustments I have made. So the first thing, adjustment for time. So for this adjustment, it depends on the transaction of the date of each comparable. So we assume for 1 year equal to 5% adjustment. So now adjustment for location. It depending on the location of each comparable. According to the appendix, explain that the subject property is the best location among the comparable. So the third adjustment is adjustment for land area. It depending on size of the land of each comparable. Based on the principle of comparison, the smaller size of land area will be better, because it will give a lot of opportunity, even especially to people with low income, to buy that property. So now we can calculate the market value of subject property, which is Panko Beach Resort. So the formula to calculate the market value is land value of subject property plus building value. So land value of subject property is 4,086,720, and it will be plus with the 1,990,269, and the total of the market value of subject property is 6,076,989, and after the market value was be round up, and it will be 6,077,000. The opening of valuation in cost method is the market value of subject property Panko Beach Resort located at lot 312 Panko, Manjung, Perak is 6,077,000. The value of the subject property is accurate due to the high quality material used in construction of this resort, such as timber, concrete, and also this subject property has a good access, which is near to service road.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aiman bin Zakaria. My metric number is 2021204698. I and my friend Ainul in charge in profit method. Profit method is a method that used to value business property that have monopoly element, and the higher of profit and rent will increasing the capital value of the property. Before we start to do the profit method, we must to find the total income and total expenses for the property. Now Ainul will explain how she calculate the total income, and I will explain about the total expenses.
My name is Ainul binti Ruslan. I will be continuing the presentation by explaining the incomes of our subject property. So since our subject property is a hotel, the main source of income is room tariff, but there are also other incomes such as restaurant sales. As you can see, the question has provided us some information on the roof tariff, occupancy status, and also the restaurant sales. For the room tariff, there are different prices for different types of room and conference hall. So based on weekdays and weekends, we can calculate the total income by referring the occupancy status. That is also based on weekends and weekdays. However, the question has given the occupancy status and the restaurant sales by year 2019, 2020 and 2021. So therefore, we need to calculate them according to their own year. So for room tariff income for 2019, the occupancy rate that was given was 53% for weekdays and 92% for weekends. So we generally know that there are 260 days for weekdays and 104 days for weekends. So based on these two information, we can refer to the price that was given in the question earlier in order to find the total income for each types of room in that year. So the total income for room tariff in 2019 was 1,465,157 ringgit. For 2020, the occupancy rate for room tariff was 35% for weekdays and 72% for weekends. So using the same method as 2019, we can get 1,061,585 ringgit Malaysia for total room tariff income for 2020. Last but not least, for the year 2021, the occupancy rate that was given was 40% on weekdays and 83% on weekends. Again, using the same method that we used in the previous 2 years, we can get 1,219,213 ringgit Malaysia for total income room tariff in the year 2021. As we already calculated the total room tariff income for all the 3 years, we can total them out and get 3,745,955 ringgit. However, in order to calculate the income for our subject property, we have to use the average. So therefore, the total amount that we got, we have to divide it by 3 because we are using 3 years. So therefore, the final income for room tariff will be 1,248,652 ringgit Malaysia. So that is all for room tariff. Now I will be explaining about the restaurant sales income. So as the question has given us the total sales per annum, it is easier for us to use the information and just find the total income for restaurant and find the average. So the total restaurant income will be 452,664 ringgit, and when we divide it by 3, because we are using 3 years, it will become 150,888 ringgit. So that is the amount of income for our restaurant.
Alright, to calculate the total expenses, first we need to list down all the current 3-year expenses. After get all the expenses, we need to sum the current 3-year expenses and divide to 3 years to get the average. And then after get an average, we will sum all the expenses using the average value. Let me show to make it more clearly. Referring to this table, we list down all the expenses for current 3 year. For example, purchasing cost of hotel, I list 2019, 2020 and 2021. We sum all the expenses for 3 year and divide for 3 year and get the average. We repeat this method to all the expenses, and after we get all the average value, we sum it all and make it as a total expenses. Profit method. Alright, in profit method, we will find gross profit per annum, net profit per annum, gross rent per annum, net rent per annum, and capital value. I will explain one by one from A to Z how to find them, and Ainul will explain how to calculate the YP and capital value. Alright, first, to find a gross profit, estimated gross income must less the purchasing cost. Second, to find net profit, gross profit must less the working expenses. Third, to find gross rent, net rent must less the interest on capital and entrepreneur share. And lastly, to find net rent, gross rent must less the outgoing. To make it more clearly, I will show the example using our study case data. Alright, this is how we do a profit method. First, we will find a net profit. First, we total up all the income and all the purchasing stock, and the income we less the purchasing stock. Then we got the gross profit per annum, And then after we got gross profit per annum, we less the promotional marketing expenses and administrative overhead expenses, and then we got net profit. After we get the net profit, we start to calculate a gross rent and net rent per annum. First, net profit, we less the cost of financial for capital outlay, and then we less the entrepreneur share 45%. The 45% we assume based on divisible balance. After we less the entrepreneur share, we will get the gross rent. After get the gross rent, we less the outgoing, which is building maintenance and fire insurance premium. And then we got a net profit per annum. Assumption for this calculation is entrepreneur share 45%. 45% we assume based on divisible balance.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Insyirah binti Raslan. My student ID is 2021492798, and I will be continuing Aiman's explanation. As I believe Aiman has already explained on how to get the net rent per annum, so I will be continuing on how to get the YP in perpetuity. So since the question didn't provide us with the exact percentage that we have to use for YP in perpetuity, we decided to refer the Property Market Report 2021 in order to adapt the average capital value in order to calculate the YP percentage. So based on the Property Market Report, we have adopted 3 locations, which is Pahang, Negeri Sembilan and Melaka, and we have calculated the total capital value for the hotels that are respectively located in these 3 states. So the total capital value for those 3 hotels will be 24,500,000 ringgit. But in order to calculate the YP in perpetuity, we need to take the average, so that amount will be divided by 3. So the formula that we use to calculate the YP in perpetuity is net rent per annum divided by the average capital value and times with 100%. So as we already did have the amount of net rent per annum, we only need to calculate the average capital value here. So when we round up the answer, we will get 4.2% for the YP in perpetuity. So using the percentage that we get earlier, we can get 23.81 by dividing 1 with the percentage that we got and times with 100%. So in order to get the capital value of our subject property, we have to times the net rent per annum with the YP in perpetuity, which is 23.81. So therefore, we can get our answer.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatin Damia binti Isham Murisyah, and my student ID number is 2021-205922. In this group video, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. The market value of a property can be found in a number of ways, including the comparison method, cost method, profit method, and the residual method. In order to successfully complete this assignment, we will need to calculate the value of the Bangkor Beach Resort Hotel using a couple of different methods. The cost method and the profit method are the 2 methods which might be used to arrive at an accurate number. In spite of the fact that there are a few challenges that arise when calculating and carrying out an analysis of the hotel property, we are nevertheless able to complete the task effectively. In addition to this, we were able to effectively perform an analysis of the transaction data that we acquired from the National Property Information Center, which is shortened as NAPIC for its longer form. This was a major accomplishment for us. There are several challenges that we must face in order to finish this task on time. The lack of our group to communicate effectively is one of the most significant obstacles that stands in the way of our completing this task successfully. We need to put greater focus on communication if we want the quality of the group assignments we work on in the future to improve. The next step is to ensure that the appropriate individuals are selected for the right tasks. To achieve optimal levels of productivity, it is essential to ensure that the appropriate tasks are delegated to the appropriate individuals. In addition to that, we need to address problems as soon as they arise. Finally, one of the obstacles we must overcome in order to effectively finish this valuation assignment is the issue of withheld information. We had trouble with this problem while doing the assignment, but we were able to figure it out in the end.